Hello everyone. Welcome to the LeverX webinar series, a free educational service offered to SAP customers to inform and demonstrate SAP functionality and industry best practices to improve your business performance. Our webinar today is entitled Customer Case Using SAP PPM to Support Capital Investments. During today's webinar, we will discuss Southern California Edison's use of SAP PPM to support their business scenario for capital projects. My name is Ralph Davis, Business Development Manager for LeverX. I will be our moderator for today's webinar. Before I turn the time over to our presenters, let me introduce you to LeverX. LeverX is an SAP Services Partner, an SAP Business Object Solution Partner, associate member of the PLM Alliance, and a Google Enterprise Partner. LeverX assists companies increase business value by leveraging existing investments in SAP solutions.
All right, our agenda this morning, my name is Daryl Barney, as Scott said. I'm with Southern California Edison. I've been with Edison for about 35 years and spanned many different functions, ranging from the operations department, control room operator, shift manager, assistant plant superintendent, and currently for the last 4 years have been engaged with our SAP project. We'll first go over a brief introduction to Southern California Edison, then move into the key drivers why we engaged in using PPM, then a little bit on how we're using it and how we're tracking and implementing the process. We're going to look at exactly how we went about deploying PPM, and from a process perspective, we started not with a software application in mind, but rather developing a best practice process. And we'll talk a little bit about a phased approach for delivering the functionality that exists within PPM, then some lessons learned, things that we came up with for our initial go live, and then rolling out the application through all of IT and business integration, information technology and business integration within Southern California Edison across all the business units. So Southern California Edison is an element of Edison International. We're composed of Southern California Edison and Edison Mission Energy Group as a total. We're fairly widespread and have an eclectic mix of generation throughout the system. So as you can see here, our operating territory is broad across Southern California and into Central California. We have we are the largest electric utility in California, serving roughly 13 million residents and 4.8 million customer accounts.
Okay, so if we look at the PPM solution and what's deployed here, this is an example of what the user sees when they log in. And if you look across the top of the screen, we're in the enterprise portal. So it's once again, for those that aren't that familiar with the SAP PPM solution, it runs through the portal, so it's not the SAP GUI that people are looking at. And often the user interface is one of the contentious items when they're working in ECC at the moment. So if you look at the different components that make up the PPM solution here, when you first look at what you see when you log in, you see the portfolio management option. So that's really where the high-level planning can take place, kind of evaluating ideas for new projects, for new capital spending, voting, ranking, that kind of stuff goes on. For the approval process itself that's housed in the portfolio management piece. If we look at the next tab over, you'll see actually the second tab is project management, but we also use the design collaboration tab, which is the C folders application from SAP for collaborating on documents. So for example, folks can create a collaboration space, share documents, exchange documents with outside parties. That's one of the advantages of C folders. And set up notifications, for example, so that they know when somebody checks a new document or a new version of that document in. And then we have the project management piece. So this is SAP's C project application, which is a project management tool for use. So we've got the portfolio piece, and it's fed by individual projects. So what we do is we say, once we agree that we want to take on this particular piece of work, we create the project from a template. We go and build the project plan. Maybe we accept a certain amount that's provided with the template, and then we make modifications based on the particular project that's chosen and what needs to be done on that project.
So what we're looking at now is a view of the hierarchy that we've developed at San Onofre. So in PPM, the hierarchy forms the fundamental organizational unit to which both the financial and capacities are assigned and rolled to. At Songs, we have Songs in general is the top node in the hierarchy. Then we have a common area. We've identified some non-plant assets, for example, facilities that are not directly associated with a plant that compete for budget and resources. Unit 1 has been retired, but we still do have a few operating components. And we have, for each unit, we've divided sub-buckets for the 92 systems that are defined within each of those 2 operating units. So a total of 184, actually 186. One unit has a couple more. Then within each system, if you scan down the page to the auxiliary feedwater system, it's broken up into a project segment, then 3 segments that contain maintenance plans for repetitive maintenance activities. And this was a business requirement to separate into these 3 categories: mechanical, instrumentation, and electrical.